First of all, on behalf of People Before Profit, I want to extend my solidarity and support to the families of the 48 who never came home from the Artane fire in 1981, and hope that today is the day they finally get the truth and justice they deserve after their 40-year-long struggle. Taoiseach, next Tuesday at 5:30 outside the Dáil, the Raise the Roof campaign will hold a major rally demanding secure and affordable housing for all. The coalition of trade unions, housing groups, political parties, student unions will be putting forward a motion in private members' time that day calling for this government to acknowledge its failure to address the unprecedented housing and homelessness crisis, and demanding that you finally deliver the social and affordable housing we need, control rents to put them in line with the incomes of ordinary workers, deal with the scandal of vacant and derelict property, reinstate the no-fault eviction ban, and deliver the genuine affordability, which means ordinary young and working people have some hope of getting a secure and affordable roof over their head. Now, that rally comes on the back of this government's utter failure to deliver those things: secure and affordable housing for working people, for a whole generation of young people. Your failure to meet even your own completely inadequate affordable housing targets, which you missed by 1,191. Your complete failure to meet your social affordable targets. The fact that house prices have now reached in Dublin €511,000 average price for a home. In Dublin, 2,344 monthly rent for renting in the private sector. The latest CSO figures showing that house prices have gone up another 6% on those already unaffordable prices. That rents in the last 12 months have gone up by 10% on those already unaffordable rents. And you say we don't offer solutions, Taoiseach, but first of all, the solutions you're proposing are going to make it worse. You plan to extend the suspension of development levies to throw another €300 million at the developers who are delivering this completely unaffordable housing, delivering completely unaffordable rents. In contrast, we put forward yesterday at the Planning Development Bill an amendment to your bill which would move up the amount of social and affordable housing from 20% to 50%. You rejected it. There was a proposal, you rejected it, and indeed you reject the proposals being put forward by the Raise the Roof campaign, housing groups, by the ICTU and many of the opposition political parties in this country. What do you have to say to those who are going to gather outside the Dáil next week to protest at your failure to deliver the social and affordable housing the people of this country so desperately need?
Thank you, Deputy Boyd Barrett. Taoiseach.
Again, as I said earlier, housing is the most important issue facing this country and facing our people. And we've got to focus on policies that will increase the number of houses that we can build every year. And it will also increase the number of houses that are available to the rental market. What you've put forward, Deputy, I would suggest, would depress the number of houses available to the rental market and would actually lead to a decrease in the supply of houses more generally. Because you're, in terms of you would say no development levies, for example. Not to waive them. You're against the waiver of development levies. The commencement data, which will be out today, is indicating that about 4,900 housing starts in March of this year, an increase of 51% in March of last year. Now, if your policies are implemented, we will not achieve that figure next year or the year after. We won't see increases in housing starts. Just won't see it. And your proposals in terms of development and proportion of social, that will also depress supply, whether you like it or not. Now, you perhaps believe in a full state intervention approach. And in my view, the capacity doesn't exist. What I mean by that is you don't believe in any private sector housing really in the end, do you? I mean, that's fair enough, that's your position. And you'll probably have everybody direct labour, direct state and national building agency, and that the state would build every house in the country. It would take some time to get that up and running, And meanwhile, we would have people fleeing the market. So I actually genuinely believe that what you're proposing would be catastrophic for the housing market and catastrophic for young people who are trying to get houses and buy houses. At the moment, in terms of social houses, 12,000 social homes were delivered in total last year in 2023. That's the highest since 1975, actually. There's about 8,100 built, and there's about the rest of them were either acquired, tenant in situ, and so on like that. There's about 22,500 more social homes either on site or at design and at tender stage. And mortgage drawdowns by first-time buyers reached a new peak at about 26,000 in 2023. That's the highest annual level since 2007. So we are improving affordability for younger people to be in a position to buy houses. And 33,000 houses last year were completed. We'd hope we get that we would exceed that target this year, and already the signs are we will exceed the target that we've actually set. The housing in terms of affordable homes, where you've cost rental and affordable purchase, about 6,000 affordable homes have now been delivered to Q4 2023, which is double what had been produced prior to then. On dereliction, I mean, I don't know whether you support the grant-based scheme that we've introduced.
Time is up.
70,000 for derelict houses for a young couple or individual to get a grant of 70,000 and other supports to bring a derelict house back into family.
Taoiseach, all those statistics are cold comfort to, for example, Amy and her husband, who are in my office this week. Amy is out of work on illness benefit at the moment. Her husband is a bus driver. Their net income after tax is €48,000. They are facing homelessness because of an eviction on grounds of sale. The only rents available are €3,000 per month. Because they're over the social housing income threshold, they are not entitled to the possibility of social housing. If they end up homeless, they won't even be able to get HAP. In order to pay rents of €3,000 a month, which is all that's available, they would have to pay out 75% of their income on rent. Completely impossible. So what do you say to Amy and her husband, a bus driver, who are facing the prospect of homelessness? I think they will say they need to be out on the streets next Tuesday on the Raise the Roof demonstration, along with many others. Or Niamh and Anthony, who are with their children, who are the second year second Christmas now they've passed in a homeless hub in my area, and I could go on through the list. Frankly, Taoiseach, Taoiseach, your reliance on private developers and private speculators to deliver affordable housing is failing. The rents are going up, the house prices are going up, you still want to throw money at them. What we actually need is controls on rents, controls on house prices, and for the state to deliver social and affordable housing on scale.
Thank you very much. See, to conclude, please.
What I would say to Amy and her husband and to Niamh and Anthony is that your proposals would make the situation catastrophically worse. It would be much worse. Much worse. Much worse. People would leave the rental market immediately, because you're all controlled to such an extent there'll be no one in the rental market by the time you're finished. They just won't be there. And it's evident in terms of the policies. And in terms of affordable, about 4,000 affordable homes were delivered in 2020. That's double, right? And the social housing, 12,000 delivered last year. Now, we're being realistic and we're being honest with people. I'm not going to create some sort of fairy tale and say there's a wonderful world waiting for us. If only we had people before profit in government. And that then we would have 100. Yeah, but your proposals aren't going to sort that out. That's my point. You'll make it much worse. Your model, and you should be more honest in how you articulate your model. But you kind of, you never do that, of course, because it doesn't suit you politically to do. It doesn't suit. Yeah, exactly. That's where you want to be. You're not really interested in sort of going through the actual bricks and mortar of getting houses built and getting houses. That's not your interest. It's electoral, it's political.
Thank you very much.
No, wait.